So I just purchased 10 shares of MSTY today in anticipation of the earnings call for Mr. So I'm going to update my spreadsheet and see where I'm at. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So today I broke down and I did purchase 10 more shares of MSTY. So let's just look at the chart and see where it's sitting now. Okay, so here we are on the Webull chart. I've got MSTY pulled up right now, and as you can see, this white line right here, that is my average before I purchased the 10 shares. We did have a little bit of a red day, so I decided to go ahead and purchase some shares of MSTY because MSTR, or MicroStrategies, will be announcing their earnings today. So I bought my shares right at the end of the day, and I got them for $24.50 a share. I purchased 10 shares in hopes that we would get a nice push up tomorrow, though I know we have been running up a good bit and we'll probably do a little bit of a cool off, but I wanted to go ahead and purchase some more shares that would be underneath my current purchase price. So let's just go ahead and flip the chart to the adjusted, and let's take a look at some of the indicators to see where we're sitting in our Bollinger Band and such. Okay, so I'm showing the Bollinger Band now, and as you can see, it is just widening out, right? Meaning it's just continuing to move up. And as you can see, after hours, we had a $24.44, but overnight we are at $24.99. So we are moving up overnight. But I would only take that with a grain of salt because there's no low volume during the overnight and after hours. A better gauge will be tomorrow morning once the market opens, and we'll see where it goes from there. But since it was getting close to my current buy price or current purchase price, I wanted to go ahead and get a few more shares before it broke that, because then at that point I would be averaging up. And that's not a bad thing, but I've been waiting for a little bit of a pullback, so it just hasn't gave it to me yet. Not saying that we're going to continue moving up or that we're going to come down, but I wanted to go ahead and get a few shares before it got above my purchase price. So let's just go ahead over to my spreadsheet and let's get that updated. Okay, so here we are on my MSTY spreadsheet. And this is the same spreadsheet that you can get as well if you do not already have something that you're using to track your positions in a stock. And you can get that link from the description, or it'll also be pinned in the comments of this video. So in this spreadsheet, it will show the current price here of the stock that you enter, and you enter the ticker symbol in there, and that will kick out the current price of that stock. And for this one, I'm using for MSTY. So the current price, or actually the closing price, is $24.49. And I purchased that today, and that date is 5/1/2025. My purchase price, as I stated before, was $24.50. And I purchased 10 shares. Now, you will notice this 664 right here that I'm circling with my cursor, which is my adjusted price per share. It says 664. That one will increase, okay? It will increase because I just purchased 10 shares at $24.50, and that $24.50, since it is higher than my adjusted price per share, it will increase this number. But MSTY will be going X next week. So if this one here is going to continue moving up in the anticipation of MSTR moving up and then getting close to our distribution week, that's why I went ahead and purchased the 10 shares. So when I hit the enter button here on this 10 shares, if you watch that 664, we'll see what that now becomes. Because right now I'm at 73.68% earned back, and let's see what it changes to now. All right, so that bumped me up to my new adjusted price per share of $7.08 with 71.89% earned back. Now, by buying 10 shares, that also put me at an even 400 shares now. So I have a total of 400 shares. The current average price, and this is the purchase price of those shares, is $25.20. And that's the reason why also I wanted to buy before it got above this number. So that's the reason I purchased it at that $24.50. So I've invested a total of $10,000 here, and I've got back in distributions $6,500, and I'm rounding all these numbers. And the premium I've earned is $679. The current value of my shares is $9,796. That means that is the current price times the number of shares. And I can prove that here by just saying the 2449 times the number of shares, and that's going to give us that 9796. So that matches. So I just wanted to show you that's where that number's coming from. That is basically the market value of the number of shares I have, versus this number over here being the total unrealized gains. So this means if I were to sell my shares, now this is to sell the shares, right? So I'm going to sell all 400 shares at the current price of $24.49. I have earned in distributions of $6,565.96. I've earned in premium $679.09, and I would get the price appreciation if there was any. But in this case, my purchase price here of $25.20 is above the current price. So therefore, that will mean that about 70 cents per share would be subtracted from the amounts that I have earned here. And that's why if you add these two numbers together and you subtract out what that loss is from selling the shares below my purchase price, I come up with $6,962.42 in the good, right? That's not a loss. That's in the good. So if I was to sell my shares, all 400 shares at the $24.49, I will clear $6,962.42. So tell me I'm losing money. I'm not losing money on Misty. Loving it. How about you? I am loving it. So that's why I had no problem in purchasing some shares. I wanted to definitely get it below my purchase share average. I'll probably never be able to purchase my shares under my adjusted price per share. That's at $7.08. And where that comes from is it's taking into the account and the fact that I have earned distributions and premiums, and that's being subtracted out by the invested capital here that I have of $10,000. And then that difference divided by the 400 shares would be how much per share it's actually at risk. So I only have at risk $2,833.58. So again, I am super excited about Misty. Love to see the move on it. We might get a little bit of pullback, but that wouldn't be too much of a bad thing, right? Before taking right back off. And I'm showing the chart here again. And if we look at the EMAs here, you can see we're well above the 200. We're well above all of the EMAs. We're widening out the Bollinger Band. We've got the MACD here. It is above the zero line here, and it is still going up, although it looks like, and if you look at it really close, it does look like it is wanting to try to flatten out a little bit. And that's just because we had that red day today. But now if we get a green day tomorrow, that will probably just take that one and just keep on widening out here as well and keep on moving up. The RSI 2 here is just on fire. It's 99, and the RSI 14 is at 67. So we are bumping that 70, which could mean that we're getting close to being overbought. So I don't know about you, but I'm super excited. Cannot wait until next week where we get paid out our distribution. Very curious of what we're going to get. What do you think? Throw them in the comments. What are your thoughts on the next distribution amount for Misty? Our previous one was $1.33. The one before that, $1.37. And the one before that was $2.21. I'm going to throw my guess out there, and I think that we're going to beat last payout, and I think we're going to beat the one before as well. I don't think we'll get to the 2, but I think we'll get close. So I'm going to throw mine out there for $1.85. Throw your thoughts in the comments. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.